you go?
You go.
No.
All right, I'll go. I'm Iain MacIntyre. This is the very shy Brad Ziemer. We're the hockey writers at the Vancouver Sun. Welcome to our video. We actually saw the entertainment you're seeing right now pales in comparison to the game tonight. It was really a fabulous game. Vancouver lost 3-2 to Montreal, and it was hard to play catch-up, 2-0 in the first half of the first period. And Vancouver obviously was very good, but it is a problem for this team. It hasn't happened often. I think there's only been 10 games this year. They've trailed after the first. Vancouver, they've yet to win one. It is a problem going down, even for a team as good as this one.
Yeah, I mean, the Canucks outplayed Montreal for the last 50 minutes of the game, but they just couldn't get out of that hole. They dug themselves in the first 10 minutes when they're outshot 10-1. It could have been worse. Luongo stood on his head, I thought, for much of that first period and made some big saves to allow the Canucks to escape with just a 2-0 deficit. But try as they might, they couldn't get as many goals by Carey Price as they needed to, and it was kind of nice to see Carey Price bounce back, I thought, after obviously the much publicized debut he made as a starter for Montreal here last fall when he lost 7-1 in front of a lot of family and friends. I'll never forget those TV shots, the anguish look of his beyond his father's face and stuff, and he spoke about that at practice yesterday, just how tough that game was. And I got into the Montreal room after the game, and he was a happy guy with the way he and the team played, obviously.
Yeah, well, I really thought he was the difference tonight at the end of the day. 37 saves, I believe. And Luongo was good too. He didn't look set on the third goal, which was a play where Chris Tanev got out-muscled or out-positioned by Andrei Kostitsyn, which led to a real quick goal, almost out of nothing, and it was, at that point, it was completely against the tidal surge of the Canucks. Chris Tanev tonight, he's been so good, remarkably good during this injury crisis, but they get two veteran defensemen back tonight, and suddenly he looks like a rookie.
Yeah, and you almost wonder at the start how bad it was for Vancouver. Maybe they just sort of subconsciously relaxed, saying, okay, we've got two of our veteran defensemen back, this shouldn't be a problem, yeah. And then it was, obviously. But what do you make of Cody Hodgson? In the end, he gets called back up. Vigneault makes a point of saying that the fourth-line center job is basically up for grabs before the trading deadline, and I think he plays 8 shifts in less than 5 minutes of ice time. What do you make of that?
Reminds me of one of those Hollywood movie auditions where you get up there and the directors and producers are all sitting at the table, and you get up on stage with your script and you start to speak, and about 3 words in they say, okay, thank you, we got your number, we'll be in touch. Yeah. Wasn't much of a chance tonight. 8 shifts. Part of that, obviously, is the fact that they were playing from behind, and as Tanner Glass said, when they're looking for goals, they're not putting the fourth line out there. No. So I think Thursday is really going to be sort of indicative. I'm not sure, as none of us are, whether this is really a serious audition or is this simply, let's take one last look at him before we go ahead and trade for a fourth line guy. But he needs to be better. The Canucks, don't know that they need to be better, but they obviously need to be better at the start. Our video can be better at the start. We'll come up with a better opening for Thursday. See ya.